I keep my goals to myself, cause whenever I share it with folks, they get a look upon their face and their memory floats to a time where their goals and the stars ain't...
What's good? Let's get into NXT from June the 9th, 2026. This was a very solid episode of NXT. NXT is slowly but surely getting back to where it used to be. It's going to take some time to get there, but this show was a step in the right direction. This was a very strong show, a very good show. We're still getting used to the new characters and everything, so I like that. The women, they constantly hold it down, constantly, so that's always a plus. The men, they're doing okay, but it's nowhere like it was last year when Trick Williams was still there, and Giovanni Evans, and Obafemi, and guys like that. They were still there holding down the fort. Now it's just Tony D by himself. And then a whole bunch of new guys. We all know about Evil, a.k.a. Naraku, but, still. But that's why I think that, Mike Santana and probably Leon Slater, both of those guys will be brought in at some point this year to help out on the men's side of for NXT, especially the main event scene as well. So, especially that scene. But this was a pretty solid show for the most part. So we kicked the show off with the first match of the night. Fraxium, they defeat Noam Dar and Romeo Monora. So this match was fun, pretty solid stuff there. I'm hoping that Fraxium will stick around. This was a very good, fun match. Very good stuff. Noam Dar has been around for 10 years, and he has not seen a pink slip at all. He's just continually to still be there, which is great. He is literally the last remaining member of 205 Live. Everyone else from 205 Live has been released. They have been released, and they work for other companies. That is insane. That is insane that Noam Dar is still around. It's fine, but damn. So it seems like they're going to make Romeo and Noam Dar a tag team, which is fine. Because NXT has a weak tag division, but WWE overall has a weak tag team division. Actually, if we're being honest, all three major promotions, WWE, AEW, and TNA all have weak tag team divisions. It's just the truth. That's a fact. So, there's that. Again, this match was fun. I'm hoping that Fraxium can stick around. That'd be great. They're not doing anything on the main roster at all. So, just stick him in NXT for a little while. That's what I've always said. That if you don't have any plans for talent on the main roster, put them on NXT for a little bit, and maybe also put them into Evolve for a little bit as well. So, hopefully, this is a start to that, but I doubt it, if we're being honest. All right, moving on from that, this leads us into Kendall Gray. She's talking to Ren Sinclair in the locker room. So Kendall asks Ren if she's sure about not accompanying her to the ring tonight. Ren says that she can't because she's not medically cleared. And plus, she doesn't want to be a distraction. So Kendall can focus on becoming the new number one contender to the NXT Women's Championship. Ren says that she's going to talk to Robert Stone about possibly starting a tournament to let for the Women's Speed Championship. Lola Vice shows up. Her sexy ass is there. Lola wishes Kendall Gray good luck in her match tonight. And from the bottom of Lola's heart, she didn't mean to hit Kendall. Klein Jordan was trying to steal the title, and her instincts kicked in. Kendall cuts off Lola by saying this is the second accident, so she's not getting the vibe of accepting the apology. Kendall tells Lola that after she's done with Kalani Jordan, she's going to beat Lola Vice and become the new NXT Women's Champion. Okay, that's fine. Really good stuff there. Moving on from that, this leads us into the first round of the Mr. NXT pageant, which was kind of funny. This was okay. So the first round basically dealt with attire and talent, basically. So the first round was just like attire. Shiloh Hill had on a suit. He looked pretty good in it. Tristian Angels had he was all oiled up and he had on some type of Speedo or something. I forgot what he had on, really. But I mean, it was funny. So, there's that. I think the judges were Kit Wilson and the comedian Matt Matthews and the Evolve champion Aaron Roki. So, there's that. They gave the first round to, I believe it was Tristan. Yeah, he won the first round. Okay, so there's that. Moving on, Naraku defeats Mason Rook, which we kind of all knew that was going to happen anyway. They've been teasing it for weeks now that Naraku wants to be the new NXT champion. Cam Hendricks got involved, and this allowed for Naraku to hit the, what does he call his finisher? Enter the Abyss for the 1, 2, 3, which is just a STO. So there's that. I mean, this is fine. Cam Hendricks, who really gives a damn, really and truthfully? It doesn't matter. This is going to be a lame television feud because I'm not a fan of Cam Hendricks. I get the vibes of, I get the vibe of who the fuck is he? Because nobody knows who Cam Hendricks is. We haven't got a backstory from him at all or anything like that. He's just there. It's like, we all know that he's the husband of Maxine Dupree, but we don't know his backstory. Like, why is he there? Why is he in NXT? Right? And he's still working in Evolve as well, so he's kind of basically double dipping. But whatever. I mean, this is fine. We all knew this was going to happen. All right, whatever. Moving on from that, this leads us into Miles Bourne and Tavion Heights. Tavion wants a rematch with Darkstate. Miles said that sounds good, but he told him already that this is going to be a one-night thing. He has to figure out who's going to be the next challenger for the North American Championship. Tavion says that he can read between the lines, and the only thing that Miles cares about these days is that North American title. Maybe Tavion should fight Miles for the title at the Great American Bash. So Jackson Drake appears with the Vanity Project. Jackson Drake pokes fun at how Miles is conducting business as North American Champion, handing out title matches left and right. Jackson calls Tavion a charity case. Tavion challenges Jackson Drake to a match next week, and the winner's going to face Miles Bourne for the North American Championship at the Great American Bash. Miles Bourne, he's got no problem with that. Brad Baylor says that Miles Bourne will have a problem with that when he loses the title. Ricky Smokes says that Tavion Heights has no idea what he's getting himself into. Miles wishes Tavion good luck, and Tavion says that he doesn't need luck, and he'll see him at the Great American Bash. Okay, that's fine. This is fine. This makes sense. I do expect probably Tavion to win. Right now, he's a tweener. He needs to win. Because what sense would it make for him to lose? I think it would make sense for Tavion to kind of dethrone Miles Bourne. I feel like Miles Bourne has been champion long enough. He became champion, about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, which is fine. So, there's that. I mean, he won the title on television, so, it's fine, but I would much rather see a guy like Tavion Heights be champion. Jackson Drake, he just got there along with the Vanity Project. They just got there, so they're fairly new. They've only been in NXT for about maybe 2.5, 3 months now. Maybe 2.5 months at best. I can't remember when they came in. I think they came in around maybe March. I think March or April they came in. I want to say they came in around March. But the Vanity Project's been there for a couple of months. And, that's fine where they're at. But I don't expect for Jackson Drake to win next week. Okay, moving on from that. This leads us into a Tate Wilder vignette. Talk about how he lives life on the wild side and everything, and how he just takes a bunch of risk. He's basically like a daredevil. So could this be NXT's version of Darby Allin? More of like a sensible version of Darby Allin, a more mature version of Darby Allin. That's what it seems like to me, because he's snowboarding and everything else and doing all types of shit, mountain climbing, skydiving, doing all types of shit. Like, it was a pretty cool little vignette, so good stuff there. All right, moving on. Kendall Gray defeats Kalani Jordan. She's now the new number 1 contender to the NXT Women's Championship, and this match was great. This was an excellent match. Kalani Jordan is great as a heel. She is so damn good. She has improved leaps and bounds where she was when she was a baby face. Like, she's got everything down pat. She focused on the arm of Kendall Gray throughout the match and everything. So Kalani ended up trying to do her crossface submission that she's been doing to win matches, and Kendall Gray fought out of that. Kendall Gray ended up locking in the ankle lock. Kalani Jordan was able to get out of that. And then Kendall Gray hits the Shade of Gray for the 1, 2, 3. So good stuff there. Again, this match is great. What do you do with Kalani Jordan going forward? I really couldn't tell you right off the bat, off the top of my head, because I don't know. Do you call her up, maybe? Do you? Because her husband, Carmelo Hayes, is on SmackDown. And I do expect for there to be some more call-ups also. I don't know. I really don't know. What do you do with Kalani? I don't know. It's a tough one. It's really a tough one right now. So, I don't know, but we'll have to wait and see how things play out. Kendall Gray winning is the right decision. So it's especially going to be a rematch at Great American Bash, which is fine. So good stuff there. The match was definitely solid. Good shit. Moving on from that, this leads us into Tony D'Angelo. He was on this show. So Tony D'Angelo said that Naraku had an impressive match with Mason Rook. He never discredited where Naraku came from or the number championship that he's won, but he just doesn't get him. He doesn't get Naraku's vibrant energy. All that crap is out the window at Great American Bash. Naraku will need to bring every ounce of evil in his body. Naraku shows up, and then he gives Tony D'Angelo a card inside with an envelope, and it's another declaration of war. Okay, that's fine. Good stuff there. Great. I like this. It could be that they're probably going to end up adding some more guys to this thing. I don't see Naraku winning out the gate. Again, Tony D'Angelo just got the title. He just won it at Stand and Delivers. I don't think that I think he should have at least a 3-month reign. 2 months would be too short, but if you want to go with that, you can. That's fine either way. But I think this is going to be a full-fledged feud. I think that we will get 3 matches out of this thing. Naraku is going to eventually win the title. But I do think that Tony D'Angelo will win the first match. And then the next 2 matches that they have, it'll end up being Naraku basically winning. Probably the rubber match is when he'll win. So there's that. Because I do think that Tony D'Angelo probably will get caught up as well. That's just the type of vibe that I'm getting. I feel that the NXT men's division at the main event level is very, very weak. I do think that Mike Santana and Leon Slater will probably eventually at some point leave TNA and join NXT. If not, definitely Mike Santana will probably end up joining NXT. Apparently, Leon Slater might be getting offers from both WWE and AEW. But, there's that. But I do think that the main event scene needs some work, for sure. Moving on from that, this leads us into Jada Parker. She ended up invading Natty's dungeon and she attacked her during her training session. That was great. Security broke it up, so this is fine. So we should get their match at Great American Bash as well. I mean, you could do it on TV, but why would you? I mean, we know Great American Bash is going to be on TV, but what I'm saying is they could do that before. They could do their match before Great American Bash, but I don't think they will. I think it'll be better off if they end up doing their match at the Great American Bash, and this was actually okay. I'm fine with this. At least Jada Parker is finally showing that aggressive side once again. I feel like she's been toned down ever since people found out that she was dating Jey Uso and all that jazz. I think WWE basically toned her down quite a bit. So maybe this is the point of them humbling her for doing that. I don't know. But again, like, that can only be kept under wraps for so long. And then it's like, okay, everybody fucking knows. Now what? So, whatever. I mean, this is fine, whatever. Moving on, Deion Lennox defeats Jasper Troy. Darkstate gets involved. Osiris Griffin and Cutler James, they get involved. Saquon Shugars shows up. He ends up attacking and taking out Cutler. So, there's that. And then Saquon Shugars, he appears again. And he says he's impressed with Deion Lennox's performance. It's a damn shame that Cutler James couldn't be there to watch it. And then maybe it's time to admit that when Saquon Shugars strikes, nobody's safe. So Saquon, he attacks Osiris Griffin from the crowd via a lead pipe. Okay, that's fine. So this is okay. I imagine their match is going to be at Great American Bash as well, right? So there's that. Moving on, this leads us into the promo segment, the talking segment for the Mr. NXT pageant, which is hilarious. So Tristian Angels, he put himself over, saying that, believe it or not, before all his wealth and deserved glory, he was born a humble sheep herder. So he can relate to all the pigs that make up the NXT universe. He said that he celebrates his 23rd birthday, and he's already tattooed Mr. NXT on his leg. So if anybody's got a problem with that, or any of the judges got a problem with that, before you think about voting for a hillbilly with a smile like an unfinished jigsaw puzzle to be Mr. NXT, then I suggest you take a long walk off of a shore cliff. So there's that. I like that. And then, my bad. Shiloh Hill. I'm about to say Jasper Troy. My bad. Shiloh Hill. He got on the mic. He did pretty good. He talked about, why he's been doing certain, gimmicks as of late. He basically can do, anything and everything. He says he has trouble finding himself, but really that's what NXT is all about. And what makes it all beautiful for him is wrestling, really life as a whole. Things can change so fast. You can't have it all figured out, but that's okay, just as long as you're willing to roll with the punches. So I do like that. Good stuff there. Then all the judges, they put him over. And then the fans, they decide, and they give it to Shiloh Hill, and now Shiloh Hill is now Mr. NXT. This infuriates Tristian Angels, who attacks Shiloh Hill, beats him up with a cane. Then he hits a code breaker. Then he hits Shiloh Hill with multiple chair shots. Ends up hitting a leaping leg drop on the chair. So that's fine. So this got both guys over. We all knew that Tristian Angels was a definitive heel. This pageant stuff fits him. Shiloh Hill just puts him over as a super duper babyface because the crowd loves him. And I'm starting to like Shiloh Hill myself, honestly. This is a really good way to sympathize the crowd to Shiloh Hill and to get us on his side. So I like that. So good stuff there. This is great. I actually do like this. I really do like this. Good stuff. So maybe their match might take place at Great American Bash. Don't really know. It could take place on television. I'm hoping we get at least a good 6 or 7 matches for Great American Bash, because Great American Bash is going to be on television. Like, this is going to be their CW debut. First, their first time on there on television. So that's good stuff there. Moving on, Robert Stone gives Naraka props for becoming the new #1 contender for the NXT Championship. Naraka says thank you. He protected Tony D'Angelo and the title. Now they're going to go to war. Naraka gave Tony an invitation to speak before their battle at the Great American Bash. Gunnar Carver shows up. Gunnar Carver says Naraka knows nothing about battle. Robert Stone's trying to play peacemaker. Gunnar Carver is pissed that Robert Stone's allowing people like Naraka to cut in line. They get shots at the NXT title. Naraka says he's starting to lose. No, Carver says he's starting to lose his patience. Gunnar Carver says he needs action. Mr. Stone tells Gunnar Carver to give him until next week to find him a new challenge. Gunnar Carver says that Mr. Stone doesn't find a challenger, he's going to decide who he's got next. Okay, I like that. Good shit there. I like that. Great stuff here. I love what they're doing with Keanu Carver. Right? I do think he'll be NXT champion at some point, just not right now. I don't think it'll be this year. Definitely next year, but it won't be this year. I don't see that happening. I feel like they're going to have Naraka be champion at some point in time this year. Before this year is out, Naraka will be champion. Moving on from that, this leads us into the calling. So they got Izzy Dame, her spot in the speed tournament for the women. Shawn Spears knows that Izzy Dame has her eyes still on the NXT Women's Championship, but with Kendall Gray being the new number contender, he thought putting her in the speed tournament can help her obtain another championship. Truly owning this division, plus her first opponent is Shiloh Hill, the same person who she beat to become the women's North America champion. This is going to be a layup for Izzy, and then Izzy gives Shawn Spears props for thinking 2 steps ahead. Okay, whatever. I don't care about the calling. Well, actually, I take that back. I do like 2/3 of the calling, that being Nico, Vance, and Izzy Dame. But Shawn Spears can fuck off. Like, Shawn Spears should just work a day job. Pro wrestling, it's not for him. It's not. I'm just being honest. Can't stand Shawn Spears. Main event of the evening, Zaria defeats Tatum Paxley to become the new Women's North American Champion. This match was pretty decent. Very good stuff here. So Zaria went strong. She started off with a spear and everything. Tatum fought from underneath. She was able to come back and do a couple of cool moves in the match. Ended up doing a beautiful sunset flip, but Zaria blocked that. Zaria went for the doctor bomb, but Tatum Paxley landed on her feet. Then Zaria ended up spearing Tatum Paxley on the outside, ended up hitting an F5. They continued to fight on. Zaria was going to go for a beautiful German suplex off the top rope, but Tatum Paxley reversed that. She ended up getting Zaria into the trio woe. She ended up hitting a beautiful coast to coast. Then Tatum was going to go for her finisher, the cemetery drop. Zaria got a dodge. She hit the F5 on the outside. And then Zaria hit a spear, and then another F5 for the 1-2-3. And Zaria is the new NXT Women's North America Champion. Good shit here, right decision. This makes perfect sense. I am a fan of this. Although Zaria spammed her finish way too much, in my opinion, right? but I get where they were coming from with this. But I believe they said it was 3 spears and 4 S5s. That's a little bit too much in my opinion. Right? But it is what it is. It got the job done. Zaria being champion is the right decision. Makes sense. Got a pretty decent reaction. This is going to lead to the rematch at Great American Bash, where Tatum is going to lose again. Maybe Tatum will get called up, more than likely, which I do see her getting called up, because there's talks of Nikita Lyons getting called up to where the main roster wants her. I wouldn't be shocked if Tony D'Angelo at some point gets caught up as well. So, there's that. But all in all, this is great. Zaria finally winning is great. This makes sense. She should keep the title for a while. Who would be her next challenger after Tatum Paxley? I don't know. Because who do you have on that babyface side that's really worth anything right now? Who, Thea Hill? No. So I can't think of any women right now that are on the babyface side that would want to go after Zaria after she beats Tatum Paxley again come Great American Bash. So I don't know. But all in all, this show was pretty solid for the most part. Very good stuff here. I love what they're doing. Great American Bash is shaping up to be a very good, strong show. We should get more matches added within the coming weeks. Hopefully we can get a good 6 to 7 matches. And again, NXT is doing well. I love what the women are doing, so I like that. The men, they need some work, but they'll get there. But all in all, this was a pretty decent show. But what did you guys think? Let me know. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.